We were actually starting to recruit volunteers to go to Texas before the storm hit, and within a couple days afterwards it was obvious we didn't have enough people. So I called my boss and volunteered to go in whatever capacity I could help.
I was really lucky to be able to get an internship here and learned a lot about disaster mental health. I did a lot of casework so that I had an opportunity to work directly with clients.
Started in January. First day was, I didn't even make it to the office here. Reported to a shelter we opened for a sinkhole that opened up in Bethlehem.
In the field, I unloaded a lot of trucks. I helped carry water. I spent time playing with children in shelters. So when you're in that environment and you see something that needs to be done, people just jump in and help each other and get it done.
I learned the role of the mental health worker in the shelter, which is not only to provide support to the clients, but to other mental health workers. And so I was in shelters, but I also helped set up shelters, and I helped close shelters, which is kind of a unique experience as well.
It's very rewarding, it's very satisfying. You're fulfilling people's immediate needs when they're affected by a disaster. There's more roles that I would like to become involved with the Red Cross. My goal is to eventually to deploy to a regional event such as a hurricane or a flood and work to support a shelter.
My job is primarily to make sure our volunteers are trained to be able to provide all that, and make sure volunteers have the resources to do their jobs effectively, and then make sure our clients are getting all of their needs met for that time frame, because remember, the Red Cross is an emergency response.
What I always say about the Red Cross is it's actually been the best training I've ever had. I've been in the human services field for 20 years, and this is literally the best training I've ever received. They take brand new mental health workers, but they also take seasoned mental health workers, and they make us better, you know, both professionally and personally.
We had thousands of people, almost 16,000 volunteers from around the country that came out to support these major disasters. And I think for a lot of them it was very similar to me in that the strength of their local chapters, the training they were able to have on an ongoing basis because of the strong support, just like we have here in the Lehigh Valley and Bucks County.
I could get a call tomorrow and say I need to go help with flooding out somewhere else in the country, maybe even internationally. It's all, you know, Red Cross is one Red Cross. We provide assistance and support wherever we need to go.
You're seeing people when they're they may have been the worst thing that ever happened to them in their lives, but usually the people who are affected recognize that the Red Cross are the right people for them to be in contact with at the time immediately following the emergency.
I spent 4 weeks in Texas helping with Hurricane Harvey in Houston and on the Gulf Coast, and then spent 2 weeks in the Virgin Islands, which was really a response to both Irma and Maria.
In October of last year, I was deployed to Las Vegas for the shooting there at the concert. And then more recently, I was in Kentucky in January, and I just returned from Parkland, Florida for the school shooting.
As a disaster program specialist, my role is to provide relief, disaster response, and preparedness to our community here in the Lehigh Valley Bucks chapter.
The disaster action team responds to disasters, usually home fires, and we assist the clients in the beginning of their recovery.
We often have donors who want to support our local activities. We also have donors who specifically want to support us when there are major disasters. And what I think it's important that both of those groups understand is that we really can't do one without the other. If we don't have a strong local chapter with great training, with facilities, and with the funds that we need to deliver the local mission, we can't train and prepare the volunteers that are needed when there's a national scale disaster.